So this is one of the, like when I was doing these problems, it feels like a reading test almost, you know? You guys signed up for a math class and I'm giving you 15 paragraph long questions. This is the wordiest chapter by far. I can't find my answers. Who stole my answers? Warlock. Cole. You can't trust those Monroe kids. Oh, never mind. Sorry, Cole, I take it all back. Fun. So there's a lot of stuff in here that can be tough. You know, when you're reading through it, and there's a lot of information. A lot of it doesn't even matter. And it's just, they're tough. And then some of them, there's like really subtle differences between two answers, and it's tough to figure out which one's actually worded the right way. And so let me know what I can go through. So the first page is DBA. Did you just cuss?
Ooh, I'm telling your dad.
Pretty sure you just cussed.
What?
Just say sorry.
Sorry.
It's on video. You want me to go back and look?
Yep.
Oh.
Evidence.
Documented the crime. Any of these first three I can go over? Yeah. 12. That's the second one? Okay, so I gotta move this. You have it in front of you, right? But I'm half blind, so. Alright, so first of all, the difference between a population and a sample. So a sample is like the small picture, population's the whole deal. So if I wanted to sample 100 students here, and ask them a question on the SAS or whatever, the sample is that 100 students, the population would be like all the students in the school. But remember, you can't generalize anything beyond the sample you took. So we randomly sampled 50 conference attendees, and so you can only generalize it to other conference attendees. You can't generalize it to all the teachers in the state because there might be something different about the teachers that attended the conference and the teachers that didn't. Yeah, so our sample is the small group of 50 that we took and we generalized to that. Does that help, Dennis? Yeah, okay. Anything else on that page? Next page, CCB. CCB. I might have said D, I meant D. C. Charlie, boy.
Wait.
Why am I waiting? You
I
right?
thought you said D.
I think I must have, but I didn't intend to. Here, how about I just point instead of trying to say things? That was good?
Here.
What?
Here.
Yeah, look. We're good so far?
Yeah.
What? Go over 37? So, this drives me crazy. If I were writing this test, it would not look like this, but what they want you to get at is in the very beginning of the project, there's 6, 7, 8 long sentences in here. 200 green bean seedlings were individually planted. And then at the end, it says, blah, 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 frickin' blah. The new fertilizer was more effective for all vegetables. You can't say that because you only did green beans.
No.
But it's hard to read through all that and pull that.
I think I just read it wrong and then answered. Yeah, they try to.
Yeah, they give you, there's so much information there that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I get it. They're trying to test your knowledge in your reading, but that's what's hard.
Do they make them that long to try and trick us?
What?
Do they make the paragraphs that long to try and trick us? Yeah, they could have.
That's all. That's 2 sentences.
Like the one
They
about
could
Tai
have.
Chi and yoga, they just put the background of Tai Chi and yoga in the middle of the
For no reason.
Like,
Like, do they
in the
do that
middle
to try and
of the
distract
question.
us from the information they gave us?
So keep in mind, their job is to write a test. The job of their test is to separate people. And you're starting with a population that's already like AP people. So they're already smart people. And then they have to spread them out. So they have to have things that are going to make it harder to separate a 5 from a 4 or a 4 from a 3. So yeah, part of this is, I I want to see who can handle this and who can't, and that's the game we have to play. So it's not necessarily like they're just trying to straight test your knowledge. They're also trying to sort you out. And if they make it too easy, it doesn't sort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right, wrong, whatever. It's just that's what it is. That's what the SAT is too. Like they put so much nonsense in it doesn't matter. Yeah. This page good though? Next page, BBE. Or look. Boy, elephant. Big bad elephant. Yeah,
Can you go over number 29?
29. What were you gonna say? Same one? What? Okay. Alright, so you gotta give me a second to refresh here. New eye drop solution to relieve dryness for contact lens wearers. 25 volunteers. Agreed to use the new solution for 1 month. So volunteers is not necessarily an issue here because it's like a medical experiment. Kind of, it's just like contact lens solution, but you can't say like, okay, you have to people take this drug that might help your heart condition, and you have to okay. Like that's not really a fair. So you have to kind of take volunteers for something like this. At the end of the month, some of them, 36% reported that it was effective in relieving dryness, and they claimed it was more effective than using no solution. But did they test no solution? They don't have a group that didn't have solutions. So it could be that there was something else that relieved dryness. Maybe like the seasons changed and some people's eyes just got like less dry because of that. So we'd have to have something to compare to. So the fact that it's volunteers is a slight issue, but no control group is a bigger issue. And that happens sometimes too. Like it's not ideal to take volunteers, but you kind of have to in this situation. And you can't say it's better than no solution if you've never tested no solution. I forgot who raised their hand for that. Was that alright? Does that make sense? You?
Yeah.
Is that good for you too? Okay.
Yeah, it was just kind of weird because it's like kind of which one is the best answer? Because all of them are
That's what I thought. I was like,
all of them.
Yeah, A's not horrible either. You guys haven't learned like how to tell if something qualifies sample size yet, so that's kind of unfair on my part too to put. It's the wrong answer, so I didn't think it would be a big deal. But you will eventually learn like how to determine is this a big enough sample size or not. And it's not as easy as it seems like it would be. So yeah, A's not bad, C's not bad, D's not horrible, E's not horrible. They're all kind of okay, but if you're gonna say it's better than no solution, you have to. That's just the best one. Does that make sense? Other two on that page, okay? Next page. DBB. Delta Bravo Bravo.
sounds like a joke.
Sounds like what?
Yeah.
That's like the military speak. Those okay? DBB, we good?
Yeah.
Crap, I got out of order. On the first, mine's not stapled. On the front page is number 10, the first one. Alright, thank you. Alright, the next one, EC. Extra credit? Not extra credit. It's just the initials. Those two okay? And then I think I'll do like one more and then kind of let you have some time. Delta Delta Charlie. I used to know the whole alphabet for that. Alpha Bravo Charlie. Oh my god, I don't even remember what he is. What? Like I saw it in movies live and I looked it up and I was just
Oh, I see what I did. Oh.
I can't remember it though. This was like 10 years ago. I can barely remember what happened yesterday. These are okay?
Are you gonna go over them?
Yes.
This is the going over.
Because I have a question on one, but you had one, so I don't want to ask if no one else has done it.
You mean like on the second part, the second half or
It's just
whatever?
on the next page.
So then just ask me like individually.
Okay.
So I'll give you time and then if you have questions on anything else, just call me over and we'll look at it. Does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For number 20, I got it right, but I just want to make sure I was thinking about it correctly.
Okay.
Is it D's correct because you're blocking based on like the direction that they live, like the northwest, northeast.
Yeah, so if they're gonna build construction in a downtown location, your opinion of that might change based on where you live, you know? And you said blocking, and I know that's like really similar, but it's stratified. I know that's the same concept, but just to make sure we're on the same page there. Yeah, so they wanted to make sure they got representation from each of those locations.
Okay.
So if you did like part A, randomly select 4 blocks, that would be clustered, but you might not get people that, you know. You good?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just stop babbling. Yeah.
I thought I heard census a lot, but what is actually census?
There's one on here that asks you about a census. Let's jump to that. Census is, so you guys know what you know what a census is. When they take the United States Census, what does that mean?
I know the word, but I don't remember what it is.
You don't know what that means? It means they go like they want answers from every single person in the United States. Census means you ask everyone. So you ask the entire population. So like if I wanted to know, I mean I've done this before with just like 1 or 2 people. I'll try some new lesson. So for example, I'll have you guys design an experiment. And then I'll just call people up that maybe I know, that maybe I had the year before, like, hey, what'd you think of that? Is that helpful or is that not helpful? That's me taking a sample, right? It's a small sample, it's not like random or anything, but I'm still getting a little bit of feedback. A census would be if I asked everyone in the class their opinion of it. So there's some of them that'll say like which of the following is hardest to take a census. Let's do that. I'm going to give you 3 scenarios. Tell me which of the following would be the hardest to take a census. I want to know how many students, what percentage of students ride their bike to school. That wouldn't be too bad, right? Like you could ask, you know, there's 700 people now at the school. You could ask them. I want to know what percent of the blades of grass outside of the school have a white spot on them. I mean, you're screwed, right?
Yeah.
You can't. So a census is like you ask literally. You have to look at every single thing in the population. Do you have a white spot? Do you ask the blades of grass? Alright, so unless you guys tell me otherwise, I'm just going to give you time to work on the rest, check your answers, ask me if you have questions, work together, whatever. Is that cool?
I am.